up, PK family? My name's Nonstop Parkour, and today I got a tutorial for you, finally, because everyone keeps asking, on the WEBSTER. So, let's get to it. So before you try learning this move, you need to be very, very comfortable with being upside down and with flipping in general, and just being very loose, not very tight. And if this is your first flip that you learn, then chances are, just because you're scared, you're gonna be really tight when you go for this stuff. So I recommend you learn a regular punch front flip or any type of other front flip first, just to get more confident in your ability to learn this move. There are a bunch of front flip tutorials out there, or if you wanna watch mine, the description will be below. But now, let us get us to teaching. So unlike a lot of front flip variations, the way you get your height and your rotation for this move is more from just the technique of how you use your legs and your arms instead of just punching and just blocking and getting a bunch of momentum. So with that being said, for the run up, you can run up into it, but that would be more of a gather step type takeoff if you have too much momentum. So I recommend just jogging or walking into it like I have been doing in my examples. Now, once you get your footing right, you have a good, comfortable idea of which foot you want to WEBSTER off of. This is the part that gets tricky. And as for trying to figure out which foot you want to swing and which leg you want to keep on the ground, just try both ways. And if you're still confused, then you should probably try working on some other flips before you try this one. So I'm gonna call the foot that stays on the ground this foot, the takeoff leg. I'm gonna call this foot, the one that swings up, the swinging leg. So as I said before, you're gonna walk into it. This will be my second last foot, and then my very last foot, my takeoff foot, should not be really far out, because then you have to lean forward too much, but it should not be really close, because then it kind of becomes a gather step takeoff. So you want to try to judge basically just as if you were walking, that distance apart. So just walk, and then this is about the distance you want between your feet. And then as soon as you plant that last foot, you're going to start bending down and leaning your chest down right above your knee. Do not go farther above the knee. That's really important. So bend your chest down so it's right below your knee. And then you're gonna set your arms up like this. This is the way I do it. Some people use Russian, some people do it the way I do it. So if your right leg is gonna be your takeoff leg, then you're gonna have your right arm higher. And then if your left leg is gonna be your swinging leg, like me, then your left hand is gonna be lower and then swing sooner than the other arm. So my arms would be in this position if you take off the same leg as I do. Next, you're gonna slightly bend your leg, and then at the same time, you're gonna lift this leg up as if you're trying to kick someone in behind you, and swing your left arm at the same time, and then your right arm afterward. So it's gonna be left leg and left arm at the same time, and then the right arm. Left part of the body, right arm. Okay, that again, walk into it. Left part of the body swings, and then the right arm. So once you feel like you're swinging your left part of your body as high as possible, you're going to straighten it. So you're gonna try to get a little bit of pop off of this right leg, off of your takeoff leg. Now this is the very, very, very crucial part. As soon as you start straightening your takeoff leg and all of your other body parts are swinging this way, you need to try to bring your chest back up instead of trying to throw it down more. That's kind of hard to explain, so I'm gonna show you an example of the right way and the wrong way to use your chest. Okay, so notice right about here, how my takeoff leg is completely straight, but my chest continues to go down afterward instead of lifting back up. Now notice in this attempt, when I completely straighten my takeoff leg right here, I start to lift my chest up again instead of dropping it even lower. I know it's very subtle what you do with your chest, but it's also extremely important because that kind of decides whether your rotation goes up and gives you more height, or if your rotation just keeps on going down, and then you don't get that much height and you might not land it. But anyway, from there, once you're all the way here and you lift your chest up, you're gonna go in for the tuck. And you have a couple options on how to tuck and kind of if you want to tuck slightly. As you've seen in my examples, the way that I tuck isn't too much of a tuck exactly. I lift my chest up, I start rotating, and then I kind of just tuck my takeoff leg and just keep on driving my swinging leg all the way around, so it becomes kind of a step out. Or you could do what Joey Adrian does, where after he fully swings his leg, he tucks really tight into like a regular front flip and then just steps out at the last second. And that's basically it for the technique. Let's do a quick overview. So you're going to walk or jog into the run-up. Remember, you don't want to run because if you have too much momentum, then it will become more of a gather step. Then you're going to take your second last step and then your last step, which will be your takeoff leg. Once you place down that takeoff leg, you're going to bring your chest down and lift your arms up to get ready for the swing. Then you're going to swing your left leg and your left arm at the same time, and then swing your right arm slightly afterward. Then once you feel like you've extended your swinging leg as far as possible, you're going to try to bring your chest up just a little bit, just so that your rotation starts going up instead of down. And from there, you can tuck however you like, and then land. Now, as you can kind of tell, this move doesn't have like 200 different types of steps and things you need to do. It's just that our body is just so not used to practicing this type of movement that we end up doing things differently than how we want to, if that makes sense. Our body subconsciously does things by instinct to protect our body, when in reality it sometimes can hurt the technique of the move that we're doing. So with that being said, here's part 2 of the tutorial: common things people do wrong and how to correct it. Okay, so the first thing people commonly do wrong is not swing their leg enough or not extend fully when they're doing the WEBSTER technique. And this is when it really, really helps if you have a different type of front flip mastered, because then you're used to that front flip rotation and you're not that scared or that tight. If you're really tight, then that means your body's like, okay, I'm scared, I'm gonna make sure everything is ready for an impact. But if you're all tight, then you won't be able to fully extend. So that's the first thing. And the way to correct that is, as I said before, learn another front flip variation just to get more comfortable with front flips and WEBSTERs and things like that. The second thing I commonly see people do wrong, now I still do this sometimes, I'm trying to correct it, but I still sometimes do it. Now, as a visual, what I mean is you're bringing your chest down, but instead of having your chest right above your knee, you're leaning your chest in front of you. And what that's gonna make you do is when you swing all of that, that's gonna make you fly forward. And all of that forward distance that you're covering could be height, but since you're going forward, then it's not height. So basically the way to correct that is just to make sure that you bring your chest right above your knee instead of forward, and to bring your chest up instead of in front of you. The next thing is people tucking too quickly. Someone will only swing their arms to about here and swing their leg to about here and then just go straight for the tuck. And obviously that won't work. That'll kill your speed of your rotation because you get a lot of speed from this leg. It'll kill your height from your rotation because if you tuck too early, then that doesn't give you time to lift your chest up. It's still gonna be down here. And yeah, it's gonna kill your speed and your height and just everything. So really focus on extending fully and then tucking. Get height, then get tight. Just little flare. And lastly, I'll be honest, I do this a bunch, turning your WEBSTER front flips into WEBSTER sides. Now, this isn't exactly a problem to correct, it's just like a style, but if your WEBSTERs are like this and you just want to correct it, here's how you do it. So when you're spotting for a regular front flip, whether it's an advanced front flip or a punch front flip, you go up and then you try looking through your legs, right? Well, when you do a WEBSTER, it's kind of harder to think of looking through your legs because one leg is like completely out of vision. And what a lot of people do will look to the side like this, and then that's gonna rotate them to the side, making it a side flip. So if you wanna correct your WEBSTER side into a WEBSTER front flip, basically just think on only looking at your takeoff leg. So this leg right here, so you keep on looking this way instead of to the side. So here's an example of a WEBSTER side and me spotting badly or spotting differently, and a WEBSTER front, which is the correct way. Notice how my head starts to look over my shoulder, making me twist into a side flip. Whereas in this example, I spot as if I was just doing a regular front flip. And that's basically all the tips I have for you that you might be doing wrong. But of course, as I always say, I can't cover everything. So if you would like personal help because you still feel like you're doing something wrong but can't quite pinpoint it, feel free to send me a video or send me a message on any of my social media. The usernames will be in the description below. Sorry, I'm tired. And as for the third part that I usually do of a tutorial, which is overcoming the fear of the move, if you're scared to throw a Webster, then there's a high chance that you probably haven't learned a front flip. And that means you should probably learn a regular punch front flip or some other type of front flip before you try learning a Webster. And yeah, that's basically all the progressions I can think of for a Webster. Learn a different type of flip, front flip. And that's basically this whole tutorial for you, my beautiful PK family. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I really hope it helped. A bunch of people have been asking me for this tutorial, so I hope it helped that bunch of people. And anyway, if it did help, please remember to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell button. You should also ring the notification bell button because PK family, just because PK family. Anyway, I'm gonna leave you off with some more slow-mo examples. I will see you in the next one. PK, person, out. Wah.
I wanna be a man cub, and stroll right into town, and be just like the other men. I'm tired of mugging around.